Welcome back, all ye fans of fright and purveyors of the perverse, to the Horror to Culture vidcast brought to you by Primordial Productions. This time we're dishing out a heaping helping of horror with our special episode number 20. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host today. Please allow me to share a bit of an update here, as we're kind of changing the format up a little bit on these podcasts and these vidcasts. The podcasts are only going to run for about 10 minutes now. The vidcasts are only going to run for 5 minutes, preferably less. But I want to make sure to give myself enough time to try and tackle all these endless topics of terror for you. So long story short, from now on, going to be doing twice a month podcast, twice a month vidcast on a rotating schedule, hopefully. As always, you can find everything over at www.horrortoculture.com, and the podcast is also available on Spotify, and our vidcasts are available on our new Horror to Culture YouTube channel. And with that, let's get started today, shall we? And we've devoted some articles and episodes to our favorite authors over at HorrorToCulture.com in the past, including Stephen King, Peter Straub, Clive Barker, Robert R. McCammon, Dean Koontz, Bentley Little, and others. And with that, I just finished reading the latest offering from the impressive Grady Hendrix, entitled Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. That came out earlier this year. Thought it'd be a good time to give some props to the growing collection of awesome works from author Grady Hendrix. Of course, Grady Hendrix first came on the scene to some prominence with his excellent nonfiction book entitled Paperbacks from Hell from 2017, which I think is where most people were first introduced to him. Paperbacks from Hell is an illustrated collection and summary of dozens upon dozens of horror and weird fiction books, originally coming from primarily the 1970s and 80s. On the plus side, Paperbacks from Hell is a bit of a must-have for any serious horror fan's bookshelf, while on the negative side, it definitely created a lot of price gouging, I guess you could say, in the collector's market for old paperback horror books. Not unlike what comes with the comic book market from time to time, when attention goes to some older titles, spiking prices and causing a lot of speculation and hoarding. But Grady Hendrix first popped to the scene full force about 10 years ago with the publication of a book entitled Horror Store from 2014, followed by My Best Friend's Exorcism from 2016. And has since went on to write some really cool fiction of his own, with titles like We Sold Our Souls from 2018, which was the immediate follow-up to Paperbacks from Hell. And We Sold Our Souls, it's a great read. It's one of a short handful of horror books that I can think of where we deal with being in a band, touring, and rock and roll. And it's a fun read about rock and roll and an occult conspiracy. This was followed by the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires from 2020, the Final Girl Support Group from 2021, How to Sell a Haunted House, which I have to say is my favorite so far from 2023, and Witchcraft for Wayward Girls from 2025. I just finished reading that a couple of weeks ago. The first thing I would say about the works of Grady Hendrix is that it's consistently good, from the writing to the packaging to the promotion to the overall word of mouth. Hendrix always offers something both new and retro at the same time. And I have to say, having listened to most of Hendrix's books through Audible or as an audiobook, even the audiobooks are really good and well produced, and caused me to actually purchase the physical copies of all of his works. The audiobook for the Final Girl Support Group is even narrated by actress Adrienne King, the famous Final Girl from Friday the 13th Part 1. In fact, it's a bit of a rarity. I think that every single one of Hendrix's books, from his first release, Horror Store, all the way to the most recent Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, are all narrated by and coming from the perspective of a female protagonist. So whether you buy the books new or used or digital downloads or audiobooks, I would definitely recommend the ongoing horror publications of Grady Hendrix. His latest book, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, it's worth checking out if you're in the mood for some tense, creepy, and even gory moments of body horror and pregnancy horror. And that's going to do it for today, folks. Be sure to check out www.horrortoculture.com for a growing collection of podcasts, vidcasts, essays, reviews, short fiction, exclusive interviews, growing archive of our exclusive interviews, which I'm proud of over at Horror to Culture. And until next time, we got fall on the horizon, so we've got a lot more coming for you over at Horror to Culture. And until next time, keep creepy, stay spooky, and we'll see you on the next edition.
Thousands of years ago, something was born deep within the earth that would one day rise up and devour humanity. It's HorrorToCulture.com. That's right, www.HorrorToCulture.com, the horticulture of horror. Your 365-day, 24/7 hub of all things horror. Original essays, articles, reviews, short fiction, our podcast archives, as well as exclusive interviews over at www.HorrorToCulture.com.